For decades, we've all been told the same thing, right? Save, save, save in your 401k. But what happens when you finally get to the finish line and it's actually time to use that money? Well, it turns out there's a huge, critical flaw in the system, and that's what we're calling the 401k income problem.
This right here, this statement, gets right to the heart of the whole issue. I mean, just think about it for a second. The entire 401k system that millions of us rely on, it's an amazing machine for one thing, growing your money. But it was never really designed for the most important part, turning that giant pile of savings into a stable, reliable income you can actually live on.
And that's the big disconnect. A giant pile of money, hey, even $1 million bucks, is not the same thing as a paycheck. That pile is just a number on a screen. A paycheck? That's real cash flow. It's the money you use to pay your mortgage, buy groceries, live your life. The problem is your 401k is built to give you the pile, not the paycheck.
To really get our heads around this, you have to stop thinking about retirement as a single finish line. It's really two completely different journeys. First, there's the climb up the mountain while you're working, and then there's the descent in retirement, and the rules for each journey are totally different.
This first journey, this is the one we all know. It's the accumulation phase. For 30, maybe 40 years, your one and only mission was super simple: make that nest egg bigger. Every financial bone in your body was trained to just make that account balance go up, up, up.
And the rules for winning were pretty straightforward, weren't they? You put money in from every paycheck, you invested it for growth, and whenever the market had a panic attack, the advice was always the same. Just stay calm, ride it out, whatever you do, don't sell.
In fact, back then, a market dip was actually a good thing. It was your friend. It's that whole idea of dollar cost averaging. When the market went down, your regular 401k contribution was basically buying up stocks while they were on sale. It was an opportunity that really helped your long-term growth.
But the day you stop working, the entire game flips on its head. The climb is over, and that second journey, decumulation, the spending phase, begins. This is where you have to start living off that money you saved. And this is where the rules don't just change, they completely reverse. And this is absolutely the most crucial thing to understand. The very strategies that made you so successful at saving can actually make you fail at retirement. The financial habits that helped you build your wealth can now actively work against you. So, let's just recap that first journey. A market dip plus your regular contribution. That meant you were buying low. That's a good thing. It worked completely in your favor.
But look at the math now. Once you're in decumulation, a market dip plus your withdrawal to pay your bills, that means you are forced to sell low. You have to sell off more of your shares at rock bottom prices just to get the cash you need. That is a permanent loss of your capital. It's a horrible, devastating disadvantage.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. This is a quote from William F. Sharpe, a guy who won a Nobel Prize in economics. He called this the nastiest, hardest problem he's ever looked at. When a Nobel laureate says something is that hard, we should probably all pay very close attention.
And all of this leads us to the single biggest, most hidden danger in all of retirement planning. It's a real portfolio killer called sequence of returns risk.
So what on earth is that? Well, to put it simply, it's the risk that the order, the sequence of your investment returns can completely destroy your retirement. Having a few bad market years right after you retire can be fatal to your portfolio's health, even if over the long run, your average returns end up being fantastic. Okay, this slide shows it all, so let's walk through this. You've got retiree A and retiree B. They are identical in almost every single way. Both start with $100,000, both take out the same $5,000 a year, and this is the crazy part, over 25 years, they both get the exact same 6% average return. The only difference is timing. Retiree A had bad luck and got a market downturn early on. Retiree B got lucky and had good years at the start. Now just look at the result. By year 20, retiree A is completely broke, zero. Meanwhile, retiree B not only still has money, their balance has actually grown to over $200,000. That is the terrifying power of bad timing.
Just let that sink in. It's not your average return that matters most. A couple of bad years at the very beginning of your retirement can literally be the difference between living comfortably and running out of money a decade or even 2 decades too soon. So all of this really brings us to the final and maybe the biggest hurdle of all. It's this need to completely rewire our brains about the goal of retirement. It's not about having wealth, it's about having income.
And we just have to think about the sheer amount of time we're dealing with. People are living longer than ever. Your retirement could easily last 30 years. That pile of money you've saved, it doesn't just need to survive. It has to work for you, generating a reliable income for 3 whole decades.
And this risk of outliving your money creates this deep, real fear. I mean, get this. One study found that 64% of people are more afraid of running out of money than they are of actually dying. That is an absolutely astonishing statistic and just shows you how much anxiety this whole problem is creating.
You see, the problem isn't just about math, it's psychology. For your entire life, your brain was rewarded for seeing your account balance go up. That meant success. Now, in retirement, you're supposed to just sit back and watch that balance go down every single month. It feels like you're losing. It feels like you're doing something wrong. And this triggers what they call a scarcity mindset, which makes people with plenty of money terrified to actually spend it and enjoy the life they worked so hard to build.
So here's the real shift in thinking we all need to make. That 401k balance, it's not the finished product. A $1 million portfolio is just the raw material. It's like having a big pile of lumber. But what you really need is a house. That lumber has to be carefully built into something totally different. A reliable, steady retirement paycheck that's going to show up month after month for the rest of your life.
So we'll just leave you with this one last question to really think about. Take a hard look at your own retirement plan. Is it really designed just to build the biggest pile of money possible? Or is it actually designed to solve the much harder, much more important problem, building a durable paycheck that will support you no matter what for the rest of your life?